My question that I'd like to pass on is, how can we reunite culture and agriculture through performance?
I'm João Rocha, 34, performer, teacher and associate producer of People's Palace projects in London and Grupo Nós do Morro in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Since 2005, I'm mediating partnerships between rich and Brazilian companies and artists involving human rights and environmental issues. Thinking about agriculture in Brazil is quite different than talking about agriculture in UK, Europe or United States. Thinking about how could we reunite agriculture and performance, I'm trying to find some ways, and this question is stimulating me to think creatively about this matter. Some way we use to rescue the rural culture, and we could understand the agriculture as well and connect that to performance, is rescuing some movements and shapes from the countryside, for example. When teaching Brazilian popular dancing in Brazil, and I use that in UK and United States as well, we could look for people that live in the countryside, that work in the countryside, and take shapes of their bodies, for example, and we will find a way to dance Brazilian dances, for example. The culture in Brazil is quite close to the countryside, still, because still 50% of the population in Brazil live in the countryside. And then, to be practical and quick, I think one way to reunite agriculture and performance is discussing and talking about how food is being produced nowadays. How we get this food. How countries are selling food and producing food, transferring food to other parts of the world. When we talk about Brazil, for example, we need to think still nowadays people is fighting for the right to have some land to produce food for their family, for example. People is still dying in Brazil because the landless movement. When we talk about Amazonia, for example, deforestation is not about only destroying the nature. It's about technology, it's about how we are producing food. And then, by sure, this is a really strong matter to talk about. Reuniting agriculture and performance, we will not only talk about political matters, but by sure, we will find new ways to perform, really innovative ways to perform. My question is a trick, because talking about climate change and environment nowadays could be fashion, and it is easy to talk about disaster, for example. I'd like to ask about your personal life, practically, day by day. What are the steps you are taking to decrease the impact of your life in the world?